Get started.
I didn't do good in school. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's going on, my good people? We're back. Business in the cut. We got a special treat for you all. You never know who's gonna pop in business in the cut. So what I want to do is I'm gonna give them a chance to introduce themselves. But listen, I told you I had something special for you. So we got what's your name again?
Nick Sellers with WorldGames.
Nick Sellers. I like that with the WorldGames. The CEO of the WorldGames, man, is sitting right here. He's the one who's making it happen in the city. And your name kind of slips my mind. What's your name?
Mark Everett, 3-time Olympian, 3-time world champion, 3-time world record holder.
We call him Mark 3 times. Really, that's what we call it. Everybody who knows me, Mark 3 times. So now, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We want to let Mr. Sellers tell a little about what he got going on, and I got a bunch of questions for him. So go ahead and tell him where you from, first of all.
Yeah, from Birmingham.
From Birmingham.
Grew up here, went to Our Lady of Charlotte in Homewood,
Okay.
and moved away to Colorado, then California, and moved back after college. Been here since '97.
How is it in Colorado? I've never been to Colorado.
Man, it was great. I lived in Littleton. I went to a high school that's kind of, unfortunately, infamous now, Columbine High School.
Okay.
Where I remember the shooting back in a long time ago. But that was well after me. I was there in the late '80s. But Denver's and all the young folks moving out there. It's a cool town.
So what made you move back to Birmingham?
I was still chasing the dream, not near the level of Mark that we'll hear about, but I was still chasing the dream. I played football at Pacific out in California, University of the Pacific. And
You play ball?
yeah,
Okay.
I did. And I went to play arena football up in Charlotte and got cut and got in my little Jeep Wrangler, my little beat up old Jeep Wrangler, and looked at the old map. Remember back when you actually looked at the paper map?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, well, it's 10 hours to my dad's house in Gardendale and a cold beer. And it's 2.5 days to my mom's house in California. Let me stop at Dad's. And I stopped here, and I ran into a girl I had gone to elementary school with. That was it, baby. I never left.
Never left Birmingham.
Never left after that. Yep.
Man, that's cool, man. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
So you got the kids?
3
I
kids.
know you got kids.
Yeah.
Because I always like your pictures and stuff.
Thank
3 kids.
Yeah, I got 3 kids. I got a daughter that's a nurse at Children's Hospital, a daughter that's a senior at Auburn, going to be a school teacher, and a son that's a freshman at UAB.
Okay. And from what I can see, you're a great dad. You're always there and supportive of them.
Thank you.
So I got a question. What is the World Games?
Yeah, well, it's all part of the Olympic movement, and there ain't nobody that knows more about the Olympics than this guy to my right, but the Olympic movement, the International Olympic Committee, has about roughly 100 different international federations of sports. These are sports that are played all over the world, and the top 35 of them play in the Summer Olympics. And it's the track and fields, it's the swimmings, the gymnastics. The Winter Olympic sports has about 25 on their platform. The next 35 sports on the Summer Olympic kind of stage, kind of the next up, we call them the new generation of sports, is the World Games. So these are sports that are the fastest growing, emerging, even in some cases extreme sports, like parkour, where these athletes are jumping over cars and sides of buildings, lacrosse, Muay Thai and kickboxing, which are the feeder sports to the UFC, sumo wrestling, some of the gymnastics disciplines that are on the Olympic platform, sport climbing, water ski jumping and wakeboarding, drone racing. It's all these fast-growing lacrosse, emerging sports. So the World Games would be kind of like the X Games of the Olympics. That's really what they are. And to have them back in the U.S., the first time they've been back in the U.S. since their inception in 1981 in California, is a big deal in the run-up to the next time the Olympics are in the U.S. in Los Angeles in 2028. So, man, we'll have the president of the International Olympic Committee here.
That's going to be
We'll have athletes from over 108 countries here competing in the World Games and all these sports. And we will be broadcasting over 100 countries. And, to have athletes and champions like global icons in athletics right here, like this guy, to help us welcome the world is going to be pretty special.
I was at the city council and you had the veteran there with the flag. I thought that was huge, and I thought it was real nice.
Yeah, so we got this deal. The Olympics has the torch run, where they'll pass that torch. And the torch is bigger than any one country, man. It represents peace and solidarity and sports from around the world. And the World Games similar thing is a flag passing. So at the closing ceremonies, Mayor Woodfin, the Mayor of Birmingham, will pass the WorldGames flag, which is not owned by any country. It's owned by all countries of goodwill. He'll pass that WorldGames flag to the next country, which is in China. It's Chengdu, China.
Okay.
And we decided that we're going to partner up with veterans from all over the United States called Team RWB, Team Red, White, and Blue. And we'll start on May the 25th in Washington, D.C. And they will fly a flag over the U.S. Capitol. And they'll hand that flag to the first military veteran. And thousands of our military veterans will carry that flag, run, walk, bike, wheelchair. That same flag, one veteran to the next, with the WorldGames flag next to it, all the way into the heartland of the country. And ultimately, Noah Galloway, who's a Iraqi war hero. He lost 2 limbs in the line of duty in Iraq, and he's a great inspirational story. He and Mayor Woodfin will run the American flag and the WorldGames flag in the opening ceremonies on live global TV for the national anthem. Yolanda Adams will sing the national anthem. Sarah Evans will sing America the Beautiful. Tony's going to perform. We got Nelly. We got the band Alabama. We got Young Blue, a basketball rapper from Mobile, and then we got another big name that I can't announce yet. It's about to be announced. That'll be closing it out. It's going to be, I'm talking about Mang Up Good. Rashida Leroy is putting it all. She's
always doing a great job.
She's our executive producer. She's the bomb. And Dr. Henry Panion is putting it all together from the artistic standpoint.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta put something out there that I know, and we need to support this in a big way that you support, and that's the Paralympics.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It's great. That's a great point. It's hard to believe this, y'all. And, you know, Mark knows that the Olympics and Paralympics are separate right now. Paralympics are for para-athletes, athletes who compete with a disability. They're coming together. In fact, the United States, it used to be the USOC, now it's the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee. But they won't come together on the same platform before Birmingham, Alabama, and lay claim to the first major international sporting event in the world that has competitions for athletes with and without disabilities on the same official platform. We'll have wheelchair rugby in these World Games. Man, these athletes are incredible. Lakeshore Foundation, a lot of these athletes train here for the Paralympics all over the world, but it's wheelchair rugby. These are incredible athletes to watch, and they'll be competing during the World Games. It's pretty neat.
So I have to do this. I gotta find something real quick, but I'm gonna ask this question real quick, and then I want to go to you. So, why is this such a big deal for Birmingham?
Yeah, you know, Q, and I think that to the extent people think about Birmingham outside of the Southeast United States, they probably think about us in black and white, you know? And I'm not talking about just race. I'm talking about TV.
They think we still watching
They
black and
think
white
about an
TV.
old Birmingham. And we all know that we've come a long way. We got a long way to go, but Birmingham's come a long way, man. There's something happening in this city, man. There's a new energy. I think Randall Woodfin has a lot to do with it. I think the city council, we got a young fresh blood on the council. I think we got young leaders in the community stepping up. People want to be in Birmingham. And we're like that great athlete that the biggest challenge that they had is just having the self-confidence that they can win, you know, because we've had our failures along the way. And now we finally are building confidence that we can do big things. And why is the World Games a big deal? Because this puts us on an international stage to help reintroduce Birmingham to the world around things that are pretty special, international sports and music. And to showcase this new city, I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised that Birmingham's on the move, that we got a fresh energy, that we're finally realizing that there's more stuff that can bring us together and pull us apart. And I think it will propel us to bigger things in the future. And bigger things mean more companies coming here, more jobs coming here, more sporting events coming here. It'll give us the confidence we need.
You know, I was out today with TJ. He said, it's funny. This is the only place, we went to Nicky's West. He said, this is the only place where you have a big number of black and white together.
Pretty true.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
And it's like that in here too. And people are tired. They're coming together. They want to be together. So we have to get rid of all of that craziness and start bringing our city back. This is our city.
Amen to that.
This is our city.
Yeah.
Right? And just like you said, people think of it in black and white, not color. They think of it like old, and we just don't know. A lot of people up north think it's horses and pigs and cows walking across the street. But when they come here, they stuck. They ain't never leave here.
Yeah. I got friends coming from all over. I know you do, from all over the world, and they're like, dang, this sounds pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
I think the majority of people are good people.
Yeah.
And care about Birmingham and care about each other, just looking to do their job, put food on their table, take care of their families.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, social media and the news and everything else kind of wants to, pull us apart. But and we got a ways to go, man. There's still some backward thinking.
There's some ways to go, but it's up to us. It's up to us.
That's right.
We're gonna make a change.
Yeah.
Now I had to write this down because I've known Mark for about 20-some years. Yeah, about 20-some years. And I didn't even know this. Mark is the 12-time SEC champion, U.S. Junior Champion record holder, World Junior Champion, 3-time NCAA Champion record holder, 12-time Melrose Champion, Melrose Hall of Fame, 12-time United States Champion, World Champion, World Record holder, 600 yards, 3-time Olympian, 1988, 1992, and 2000. Ranked, wait a minute, I'm not through. Because I didn't.
He would never say
He would never tell anybody this. It took me 18 years to get this out of him. Ranked top 10 in the world from 1988 to 2000. Fastest 400 to 800 combo runner in history. Graduate of University of Florida Sports Administration President's List. Dean's List, University of Florida Gators. Mark, you are an icon to this city. And I never knew this about you. I need to start calling you sir.
No.
Mr. Everett.
No. That was my dad.
So, Mark, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm just Mark. I mean, God blessed me with ability. I feel like I've overachieved. I had a lot of people that supported me, family and friends and great coaches. I went to a great university, University of Florida. They gave a young country boy like myself. A lot of people don't realize I was born in New York, and my parents moved to Florida when I was about 5, and that completely changed my whole life. And I'm very thankful for me to move to Florida. But it's just, I've always wanted to be around people who are achieving. And success is spread with other successful people. And if you get yourself around successful people, it will pick you up. And so I made sure my friends were very successful, and I got a chance to be in some great groups. But it's funny, I want to go back to something you guys said. I had a good friend of mine that lived in Birmingham, Alabama. He worked for the SEC when we went to college together. And he called me and said, "Hey, Mark, come visit me in Birmingham." I said, "No." He goes, "Why?" "It's black and white, bro. I can't do it." He said, "Mark, it's not that bad." I said, "There's no way I'm coming to Birmingham, Alabama." Because that's everything I've heard. I mean, I've never been here, but that's all I've seen on TV. And so he said, "Man, you need to come." I said, "I'm not coming." So he put his 2 daughters on the phone who hadn't seen him for years, years and years. And they said, "Uncle Mark, will you come visit us?" And I'm like, "Eugene, that's messed up." So I said, "I'm going to come for 3 days and I'm leaving."
Yeah.
And I never left.
Yeah.
I got a job working at Mountain Brook High School, got a job working at Birmingham Southern, and Birmingham is now my home. And I can't even explain the excitement I feel for what the WorldGames is going to do for the city of Birmingham. Because Birmingham got a little exposure, and I think people kind of forgot. But when the Olympics were in '96, they had soccer here. And that was huge, But this WorldGames being the host city is going to be awesome. And what Nick and their staff and everybody and those guys are doing, it's really incredible. I mean, it's a daunting task. They have a lot of work to do. We need to support them. And but just the things I'm seeing is awesome. We had a chance to some of the other athletes to be a part of the medal ceremony, and those medals are probably the most incredible medals I've ever seen. I mean, they have all the sports on them. They have the different, the Vulcan. I mean, the medals are unbelievable. So it's going to be a great, great time, and I can't wait for people to come and see the food and the culture and the beauty of Birmingham. Birmingham is a beautiful city. I mean, hands down. And people, "Oh, you live here?" I can live anywhere I want to. And I've lived all over the world, and I'm not going anywhere. I have a daughter here now. She's 14, and I'm going to make sure, watch her, finish when she graduates. But it's been awesome. I love it.
I got to point something out, and I'm glad you said something. You made me think about something about Nick and his staff. I've seen on Facebook where the World Games, you and your staff have been pulling in just regular, everyday, ordinary people and making them partners. I've seen a lot of people that I know, they partnering with the World Games, and I'm like, see, this is what, this is the difference. Like I know a young lady, she's a vendor. She sells, her name is Tamika, I can't think of her last name, but she sells like the African pieces stuff. To be a part of the World Games, people want to buy stuff. So that's huge. Just the regular, ordinary, just business people who trying to get their business off the ground. And I'm sure that the food truck's gonna have some parts, and it's gonna be crazy. So Birmingham, it's a way that everybody can make some money in this city if you want.
Q, we really will have failed the community if you invest in an event like this, $50+ million, and you don't invest in local businesses, women and minority-owned businesses. We created a database called the WOO, the World of Opportunity, which Kathy Boswell leads that for us. And everything we do, we run it through the WOO to see if there is a vendor that can do that. That's a woman or minority-owned business. We made a pledge to the mayor. We'll do at least 35% of our available spending through that. I think we're going to exceed that by the time it's all over. But it comes down to this. Whoever is at the table making the decisions, if they all look the same, then the folks who are going to benefit from that, they don't look the same.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's just human nature.
Yeah.
And we made a concerted effort to make sure the people around the table making the decision came from different backgrounds, different ethnicity, different race, different everything, socioeconomic. And I think that makes better decisions in the end. That's what we're trying to do.
What's your favorite sport?
I think what I really want to see, just because it's an ancient sport, is sumo.
I would like to see. I always want
so much pomp and circumstance, even though it's a quick. There's 80 different moves. I had no idea that these folks can use at a point in sumo. Everything has got to be perfect.
Yeah.
What they call the doyo.
Yeah.
The clay ring that you see, it's got to be perfect. Japanese culture, man, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
So I want to see that. I want to see some sports at Sloss Furnaces. We'll build a beach competition court there for beach handball, which is awesome. We'll build a sport climbing wall for sport climbing. We'll build a parkour obstacle course there for this acrobatic competition called parkour. And then we will have a dance competition there, one of the 4 dance sports called breaking.
And this
Believe it
is
or not,
lost.
this is lost. Breaking is break dancing.
So now, you not only put money in the downtown area, and now you're taking it over to the Avondale area, pushing it on. That's pretty amazing. That's good. Cross play. So now you're taking money and putting money in the West End area.
Yes.
Mark, what's your favorite sport? I know what your favorite sport is. What's your favorite?
Honestly, my favorite sport is basketball. I mean, I really like basketball, but I like playing golf.
Yeah, I heard you. I still have the picture of you on the golf course.
Yeah, I love playing golf. But I like sports in general. But I think one of the things that we need to make sure we talk about with the World Games is the fact of that's how, you look at like the winter sports, and you look at Vanetta Flowers, when she, the first African-American person to win a gold medal, what that did for the city of Birmingham, but what that did for black people to go, hey, I can do that sport. Yeah. And then you had speed skating, which is one of the ladies who won just recently, was a World Games
She was inline roller.
Yeah, so it's when you see sports just opens up kids' eyes. So I think parents, I would implore the parents to make sure to let the kids have an opportunity to see and be a part of the World Game, because you never know. It's all about having a dream
and staying a visual.
And
our young people now, we were just talking about our young people now. They are visual. So they have to see it. And they want to put it out. That's with the jury and everything. They have to see it. And if they see it, then they'll. But if you just tell them, it might not happen. So that's some good stuff, man. Matter of fact, I got another trick for y'all. If I can get him in. Hey, can you let him in? Can you let him in?
Got a special guest coming in.
All right.
Oh,
Huh? He just said the door was locked.
quarterback. In football? Yeah. Yes, quarterback. I was scrappy. I walked on. He was. Earned a scholarship. Was fortunate. And had a lot of fun with it.
Step next to the door.
We were like homecoming team for Nebraska. I mean, you know, we played all the big schools for money.
Oof. I love Colorado.
Colorado is ours. It really is. Yeah, I've got Denver. Food, good.
Good, there you go.
So who was on your team? Who was on the track and field team? I don't know.
You think?
We had
No, that's not him.
Pettigrew,
Tell him
Michael
close.
Johnson, Quincy, no, Quincy.
Michael Johnson.
Michael, so,
Team, man.
yeah,
That's dream team.
you know, when you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
You know, and then you look back on it and it's almost like you did it, but you didn't. You know?
But that was your life, I'm guessing.
Oh, 100%. I mean, 100%. And people are like, you know, do you want to do that again? No,
He said he turned back
absolutely
around.
not. I mean, I retired in
He turned back
2000.
around.
And it's awesome to help other people achieve their goals and that kind of stuff. So I'm glad to be in Birmingham to be able to do things I can do and make a difference.
What are you doing now?
I still train a lot of kids, so I have a lot of kids I train. But I started a company about 3.5 years ago called Prime Time, and yes, I did steal Deion Sanders' name. And it's called Prime Time Scouting, and what we focus on is Division II, Division III, NAI, HBCUs, junior colleges, prep schools in every sport except cheerleading. So I have such a database of so many different coaches and so many different people around the country that I've been able to tap into that. So you have a lot of kids that are missing out on scholarship dollars. A lot of kids look at Alabama and Auburn and they go, if I don't go to Alabama and Auburn, I'm a failure. And that's not true. There's a bunch of schools out there where you can be competitive, not have student loans and things like that. So I looked at other scouting services and I saw what they were offering. And one of the first thing I wanted to do was make sure mine was cheaper than everybody else. So least expensive. I do a money back guarantee. If we can't get you service, we'll give you money back. But one of the things we do that no one else does is once you're in our program and you go to college, and you pick your major, we set you up an internship. Because one of the things I found out being a student athlete, when you graduate, you get out into the real world, the first thing they ask you is what kind of experience you have. And you don't have any experience, so no one tells you. No one talks about that kind of stuff. So parents are very excited about our service. I have people that work for us all around the country, and it's just been awesome. So one of the things I learned when I was at a young age, when I was in college, and I had a mentor of mine, he pulled me to the side and he said, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I want to be a lawyer. He said, why do you want to be a lawyer? I said, because I want to make a lot of money. He said, is that your dream? I'm like, no. He said, figure out what you do for free. Make that your job and you'll be much happier.
Yeah.
So I'm that guy who's doing what I would do for free. And I'm able to make a living with it. And I love it. So that's what I do.
So, you know, I have to ask this question because I always ask the same question. If you could tell a young man some words of wisdom, what would you tell him?
In what arena? I mean, that can be, that's vague.
So, in life in general.
I guess the first thing I would say is, in order to be successful in anything you do, you're going to need 3 components. First component, you got to have some kind of talent. Second, you got to have work ethic, and then you got to perform when it's time. But I guess the most important part of it is, the tougher things get and the harder they get, that's when you got to keep pushing through because that's when the stuff is about to happen. But typically, when things get tough and difficult, people quit.
Do that for me. I need somebody to hear that. Do that for me one more time.
Which part?
All
Quit. Well, in order to be successful, and I do a lot of talks around the country and different things like that, and they always ask me, certain questions. And one of the things I always leave them with is, In order to be successful in anything you do, you have to have talent. The second one, you have to have work ethic. You got to put the work in. And the other one is performance, time. And that's what we enjoy when we watch athletics. Those people like the Tiger Woods and the great athletes, Tom Brady and things like that, you know, Kobe Bryant, we look at them because they're able to do it in and out, but we don't realize how many hours of work they had to put in to get there. And, you know, and just understanding that when things get really, really, really tough, just keep grinding because it's about to get good. But average person, and sometimes above average people, when things get really hard and tough, they quit. And they don't know. So it's like one of the things I use to my kids, I said, with the Bible or whatever belief you have, but I believe in the Bible, and that's just me. You know, they said in the Bible, if they had known that Jesus wanted to be crucified, they wouldn't have crucified him. But they didn't know. He knew, but they didn't know.
So Nick, what would you tell a young man?
Yeah,
It's kind of hard to follow. He started off, he didn't went to the Bible and everything.
Yeah, he really hit the three things that I probably wouldn't have been as succinct and eloquent about it, but that it really does come down to the three components he talked about. You know, those are three variables that I have seen firsthand in people who have sustained success. Is those components? It's just you got to put in the work. You do have to have some sort of talent. You know, but the talent can be. Now, some is God given. There's no, you know, absolutely. But there's a book called The Outliers, and Malcolm Gladwell talks about it. And in it, he talks about like folks like Michael Jordan and the Beatles and Bill Gates and these folks that we think are almost like superhuman, right? The analysis, the core line of the noise of all these quote unquote outliers is the following: 10,000 hours. What he says is, look, there's a lot of people who can jump high, a lot of people who can sing, a lot of people who can run fast, a lot of people who are smart. All these things, right? They're sort of basic skills you have to have in a certain area. Like you want to play basketball, you got to be able to jump and shoot. But there's a lot of people who can do that. What made Michael Jordan different? 10,000 focused hours in his discipline, focused practice hours in his discipline. And man, that's a decade, basically. It's a decade of hard work. Guys like this, we think that they were just born with God-given speed and a lot of people were born with God-given speed. What made this man the champion he is the focused hours of just getting back up when he didn't want to get back up, when he felt like he was knocked down, and putting in a time when other people didn't have the fortitude, the stick-to-itiveness, the whatever it is, to keep going. And that's really the difference. And work in anything, in business.
So that I mean, those are some very, very good points. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's why I'm such a great barber. So we just had somebody come in, and he and his team are gonna make it so much more possible for the World Games to go smoothly. Sherrif Mark Pettway, they can hear you. So, you know, tell us a little bit about yourself, Sherrif.
Oh, Sherrif Pettway, been sheriff for the last 3.5 years. Went in office in 2019, and everything I campaigned on, I delivered. We're doing great things in office. We're partnering with other municipalities here to make sure it works for the World Games. We're excited about the World Games coming here. We're preparing for it, and we're making sure that when everybody come here, when the world's watching, it will be safe. So we're excited about that. Every day we do things to make people safe. Your safety is my top priority. So we're making sure that the streets are safe. We have plenty of deputies on the streets to make sure that the streets are safe. I hear all the time people come up to me and say, "Hey, Mr. Pettway, I didn't know that you had as many deputies as you have."
I don't know.
I can see your deputies all over the place. So they say that all the time, and they talk about the great job the deputies are doing. So we're excited about that.
May I brag on the sheriff for just a minute? Because
Yeah, go ahead.
And he didn't know I was going to do this, but I can't tell you the people on our team, on the organizing committee, and in the city, in the community, that are recognizing, speaking of hard work, the hard work that Sheriff Pettway, his whole leadership team, all his sheriffs, the whole department are doing for this moment. It's teamwork like I've never seen before in this community going on. And it's because we got the right people in place who are leading it and setting the right tone for us. So I'm just really grateful, Sheriff, for everything y'all continue to do, your whole team, for the whole county, but in particular for the World Games right now.
Take it back.
So I didn't know that Sheriff Pettway was gonna come, but I called and he answered, so he came. You know, everybody has, you know, something to do, so but he showed up, so I thank you for coming, you know, and I think it's right on time, you know, with the World Games, you know, with Nick and with Mark here. Do you know Mark?
He doesn't, but he does.
Okay.
Because we had an event, and I saw him and his lovely wife. He was very nice at the Sheriff's Committee.
Okay.
Not too long ago.
Now Mark has been in the Olympics 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not just, but it been in it.
But I'll tell you,
been a world champion.
I'll send you his credentials later on, because it took me a few seconds to read it all. That's how much credentials he had. So, but I thank you all for coming, man. I mean, this is huge. This is huge for the city. I think the city, you know, really needs this, and we can do some great things if we work together, you know, on this. So, and I mean, it's not gonna be easy on you. It's definitely not easy on you. You know, I think we got the easiest job, you know, just showing up.
Well, he's really an ambassador.
Yeah.
So are you. I mean,
Yeah.
what you're gonna be doing
Yeah,
to make these athletes from all over the world feel some Southern hospitality.
yeah,
It's pretty special, Q. I mean, you're a great partner for us.
yeah. I really appreciate it.
Help bring in other professionals to the table to help these folks look their best.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, for their
Oh, yeah.
gold medal moment.
Yeah.
We got our marketing campaign is called Step Up, and you'll see on the TV commercials soon. And it's a double meaning. It shows these athletes stepping up on the platform for their medal moment.
Mhm.
And we tell everybody in the campaign commercials, step up to our medal moment. Get a ticket. Buy a ticket. Bring your family. Step up for Birmingham and Alabama's medal moment, because this is our moment. We're sharing in these moments to watch these incredible athletes who've worked their entire lives, like Mark, for a chance to win a medal. You know, and maybe do something, maybe set a world record like he's done. I mean, to witness that with your family is pretty special. We made an application to the federal government for a security rating. The federal government, Homeland Security, and the sheriff knows this very well, has 5 different levels. We were a level 3. We were trying to get a level 2. We got a level 1. Only there's 40,000 applications a year. Only 6 of them roughly get a level 1. Super Bowl and the World Games is going to be one, which means thanks to what Sheriff Pettway is doing, his team, Birmingham Police Department, all these other folks who are stepping up in law enforcement and Homeland Security, this will be one of the safest events you can imagine for your families to come be a part of. And it's really going to be fun. I mean, the tickets are very affordable, $23, $15,
Yeah.
you know, to watch one of these different events and see something you'll remember the rest of your life.
I remember when President Obama came to town. I'm sure you know about this. So President Obama came to town, and I think they went out to Lawson State. Is that right? And the Secret Service bragged on our police department, our sheriff department. They said we've been all over the world. Said we've been in different places, but the way y'all handle business, it's like no other. They was like y'all really like detail with y'all the way you all handle business. So that's something to say, you know, from the Secret Service to say to Birmingham and the sheriff department. You know, that's pretty good. You know,
No doubt.
so
I think the thing I've seen from our leadership right now, there's no doubt, like every city in Birmingham, we got our challenges still. But I think our leadership recognizes it and we want to get better.
yeah.
And we're working to get better. I see these guys do it all the time. You see the work they put in, man. And they just don't get enough credit for everything they do.
If you ride around the city, you see it's a lot of progress going on. I mean, in the next 5 years, we'll see a different Birmingham. So there's going to be a lot of money made in Birmingham. So, you know. Mark, what else do you have to add?
Oh, I'm just thankful to be here, and I appreciate you inviting me out. People, we've been friends for a very long time. You called me and asked and told me who you had here. I was definitely excited about it, and also get a chance to see the sheriff again. And you're doing a great job. And I appreciate you. It's just exciting. So I still don't think people understand the gravity of what's happening.
Yeah.
I know they don't. They can't. But once it hits, you know, one of the things when I first moved here, and they talk about the magic of Birmingham, you're gonna feel it. And when the people come and the excitement in people's eyes and seeing, just like Nick talked about, the families watching their kids and that all that hard work, those 10,000 hours of training and all that, when you get a chance to see those moments and know that those moments will be in history forever, and you look back and go, that was done in Birmingham. That record was done in Birmingham. That person won that medal in Birmingham. Where did you win your world championship medal? I won that in Birmingham, Alabama. Like, Birmingham? Absolutely. And the people that will come, that will stay. Because you've got a lot of people going to come and go, I want to live here. And that's exciting, you know, and all the growth that's going on in Birmingham. And I've been here a while now, and just to see the growth is unbelievable. So it's the leadership, it's all the people coming together. And one of the things I love what Nick said is very true. When you're looking at putting a team together, you have to have different aspects of the team that look like what you want it to look like. So if you have everybody looking the same, you're going to have the same thing. But if you have different people representing different parts of it, then you get a different input. And then it's going to be a good thing for everybody. So I just look forward to it, and it's going to be exciting. So thanks again, and what a great restaurant here. I can't wait to come back and hang out here.
So before you all leave, I got to do this. I want to shout out to Yo Chef, Surf and Turf, 2201 4th Place West. If you haven't tried Yo Chef, you should.
This place is awesome.
You should. So you need to come out. We have a drive-through too for the ones that say, well, it's still COVID, you know. So we got a drive-through. And I want to shout out to Green Acres Chicken downtown in Ensley and Centerpoint, official sponsors. And shout out to you for always, you know, looking in and just helping us grow. And we don't, every week we're gonna get better and better. And I want to shout out to Sherrif Pettway, you know, for all you're doing. You know, thank you for coming. You know, on such short notice. And shout out to you for the work that you're doing with the WorldGames.
Appreciate you.
Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So hey, thank you again. We'll see you again next week. Oh, and shout out to iDope Media. I'm sorry. Shout out to iDope Media. Because it wouldn't be possible without iDope Media. Good.